What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel Money Moves with Kay. I am Kay, and today we're going to talk about how to find Zillow foreclosure houses for beginners. Now this is a step-by-step guide for beginners, so if you already know how to do this, this might not be the video for you unless you may find a gem here and there of what I say. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I really want to jump into the content, okay? So here we are at Zillow.com, okay? So most people are familiar with Zillow.com. You might use Redfin or other property finder websites, third parties pretty much, but Zillow is a very popular one, okay? So we'll go over this step by step. So what I did here is I just picked a random state, Louisiana, and the reason why I don't put a specific city is because I want to see, personally, I want to see all of Louisiana, okay? So I don't just want to see in Baton Rouge or New Orleans. I want to see all of Louisiana to see what the deals look like, okay? So up at the very top, you can see for sale up to $55,000. I'll get to that in a second, how you change that. Beds and baths, home type, and then more. So here, let's toggle this or click it. And it's for sale, for rent, sold. So I'm looking for sale, properties for sale. All right. And here you can have your listing price. This says monthly payment. I'm not looking for monthly payment. I'm looking for listing price. So the minimum, I like to put at $0 because if I find a property for $10,000, yes, right? And then the maximum, you can put whatever maximum you want to put here, okay? I just selected $55,000 because if those folks are trying to live financially free, I would kind of say up to that amount. It just depends on how much you have to pay in cash. But I just selected $55,000 as a fair amount in Louisiana and all of the states that I'll look at in a second. So you put your maximum, you can put whatever you want here. Again, I put 55K. If it's 30K, if it's 60K or 100K, you change this to your maximum, okay? But I always leave the minimum as no minimum because I want to look at literally everything, okay? So let's not put apply yet because I'm not done with all the options at the top. Beds and baths. So bedrooms, I don't put a specific amount of bedrooms because I don't want to eliminate my options, okay? I want to keep all options open because if you're looking on this website and you say, well, I must have 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and no exceptions, then your options may be limited when it pulls it up, okay? So I put any, and I put any because theoretically, if you find a home for $30,000 and that's within your budget and it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, then you might be able to work it, right? You might be able to figure something out, especially if you're purchasing it with cash and that's a financially free option for you, okay? So home type, it has houses, townhomes, multifamily condos, lots, land, apartments, manufactured. For this video, I'm selecting houses and manufactured. But if you're in a city, let's say you're in Chicago or not Baltimore, but Maryland in general, anywhere in Maryland, DC, townhomes might be an option that you select. If you're interested in multifamily, the list goes on. For myself and what I'm doing for this video, I'm only selecting houses and manufactured homes just to show you some of the options within that 55,000 range. But again, you could definitely find townhomes or multifamily homes under that range as well. But this is just an example. So you put here what best benefits you and what you're looking for. Now here is, I won't say secret sauce, but here is where you can kind of be more precise in what you are looking for. So it says owner posted, agent listed, new construction, foreclosures, auctions, click here, foreclosed, pre-foreclosure. So pre-foreclosures are before that step before it gets to foreclosure. Foreclosed means it's completed with the foreclosure process, and these properties will be listed pretty soon on this website and many other websites to the public soon. So keep that in mind. But foreclosures are the options that the bank is listing on Zillow and other websites for you to actually purchase, okay? So I'm going to click foreclosures for this video. But if you're looking for what may be coming in the future, definitely click this foreclosed tab so that you can know, okay, it's not ready yet, but it's coming soon, okay? I don't click coming soon or accepting back offers. I'm just not interested in that right now for this video. Parking spots, no interest in completing that or putting anything there to limit myself. square footage, I'm not going to limit myself, but you can. If you say my minimum square footage is 1,200 square feet, then you would put 1,200 square feet here. But I want to keep all of my options open. The less criteria that you put in here, the more options you will have. Just I guess an FYI. Lot size, I want the minimum because that's the title of the video, and my thumbnail says at least an acre. So I do want to only search properties that are at least an acre. Now, if you say, I don't really care about the land, I just really want a nice property I can fix up, I can purchase cash, and I can go from there, then you would put a different size acreage, right? You might say half an acre, which is 0.5, or a fourth of an acre, which is 0.25, okay? It all depends on what you're looking for. If you say my minimum is 20 acres, that's definitely going to limit your options. So keep your options open so that you don't, constrain too much and it not pull up too many. It might not populate what you're looking for. So the max, I said no max. It could go up to 100 acres for all I care, as long as it really meets the under 55,000 benchmark. Let's go down. Has a basement. Don't want to be too specific with that. Single story only. Not too specific with that. In my example, 55 plus communities. I mean, it doesn't bother me. Let's say don't show, just out of curiosity. I don't necessarily want to see that because I want to keep it open and not just, 55, or I guess you can include it if you wanted to, but I'm not going to include it. Other amenities must have AC. Not going to include that because a lot of these homes are fixer-uppers. They could be boarded. They could have folks who were squatting in the property knowing that it was abandoned. A lot of these properties are abandoned. A lot of these properties are not, right? These are folks who were not able to pay the mortgage in a timely manner each and every month, and their home ends up in foreclosure, okay? View, I don't need a view. In fact, I know I won't get a view under $55,000. So you have to be realistic when you're with your search as well. This may be important, and I'm not saying that you won't find any properties that fit a view, meaning you might have a view of a river or a lake or the mountains. You may actually find that within this search. But again, I want to keep it as open as possible so that I can find something, okay? Days on Zillow. This is a strategy move. I'm not going to click it here, but you can see it has 1 day up to 36 months. Now, why would somebody click this? You click this because with a traditional seller, right, you may be able to scoot in and get a good deal if it's been on the market for 36 months. That's a property that, out of curiosity, nobody wants, and you have to do your own due diligence to figure out why hasn't it sold. However, you could slide in and say, well, I see it listed for 55,000, but would you take 10 or 5? Because it's been on the market for so long. So keep that in mind when you see these. In this particular example, because we're looking at foreclosures, we're not going to really kind of care how much it's on the market. You could in a strategy move, but I'm gonna keep it very simple with this video and just leave that blank. Keywords, you can put things such as acres or land here. I'm not going to put anything. The reason why is because I did put my criteria here as the lot size being at least 1 acre. Okay. So yeah, that is what you put here. And once you search, you push apply and it pulls up here. So it already had my information saved. I already looked at this before, but let's check this one out. So this is a foreclosure. You can see it here. This is in Louisiana. It's been on the market for 53 days. My brain is saying, why? But it does meet my criteria, right? It's 1,972 square feet, 1.42 acres. So let's put in perspective, what is an acre? An acre is it's a little shy of a football field. So it's smaller than a football field, but it's up there, right? So almost a football field, let's say that. An acre is almost a football field. So you have almost 1.5 acres. So that's a little bit over that amount, okay? So that's a hefty amount of land. In fact, let's look at this picture right here. Or let's look at some of the pictures. and see if this is something that may catch your attention. This is the front yard. Keep this in mind too. A lot of folks want land. They want a secluded, I see a couple things with this picture. They want a secluded lifestyle, which is fine. That's awesome. They may want to implement like a farm or homestead with this land and provide for themselves with vegetables and maybe fruits, and, you know, use the land to eliminate some of the costs for the grocery store too. Have animals, whatever the case may be, right? But you have to ensure that the zoning for this land fits that model, your idea in your head, right? This beautiful dream. You do have to make sure that the zoning fits that and that it's okay to do that. A lot of times when people live in the country, you know, they like, whatever, nobody's coming out here. But you, as a due diligence thing, I just want to make sure that you know what is allowed and what's not allowed. As far as like livestock, I'm not necessarily talking about like planting vegetables and stuff like that, but mainly like livestock and stuff like that. You do want to check the zoning is very important. And I see it appears to be maybe a cell phone tower. I'm not sure. It's a tower right here. So this may be something that you're totally against. Living in a property. Okay. Living in a property that has this tower, you know, behind it. I'm not sure how far behind it is, but it's interesting. You also want to check the flood zone. Make sure it's not in a flood zone so that, you know, there is no water source around the property that could potentially harm your investment, whether it be an investment property or you're actually looking to live here. You want to check that out. Natural disasters are also a thing. So if you're looking to move to this area, does it have hurricanes? Does it have tornadoes? I know this is not necessary. Well, it could be. Yeah. Yeah, so keep that in mind. And now here are the repairs, right? These are all the things that may need to happen to this property in order for it to be up and running for you. So you can see like the roof or the ceiling, I should say. That's not the roof. The ceiling is a bit wavy. Interesting. It could just be the tiles here, but okay. It needs a major update. But to live rent-free, mortgage-free, financially free, this might be an option for you, right? But you have to do your due diligence. I talk about due diligence in my course. It's a tax auction course, which is different from the foreclosures. However, in that course, I do give a great website that's only in the course that has a list of foreclosures in each and every state, meaning it has the newspaper articles in which by law, it's called a lis pendens. They have to list this in the as a public notice, right? So make sure you grab the course. Link is in the description. Link is also pinned in the comment section. I do want to look at this picture right here because as soon as I seen this picture as the front cover picture, I saw this big old tree. You need to cut down this tree because your home is in jeopardy, right? I would only assume it's a matter of time before this tree tumbles over. And now you have a problematic situation because if you've invested money into this home, then yeah, this is a liability at that point. Okay. But for $34,000, and these banks and lending institutions, you can negotiate with them. So if you're anywhere close to this number, I'm sure you can get a deal. Okay, so keep that in mind. So that's Louisiana. Let's look at, I want to check this one out real quick. I want to find one with a lot of land. A lot is subjective, but for me, I'm thinking like over 2 acres. Let's see if that's possible. Mississippi. This is in Mississippi. This is a manufactured home because remember, in my criteria, I said houses or manufactured homes. This is a home that has 3.9 acres. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So here's 4 acres. They just rounded for us to make it sound even better. But 4 acres, let's see. Could you fix this property up? That is the question you should be asking yourself. to live rent-free, mortgage-free, debt-free in the event that you have the cash to fix it up, financially free, right? Especially in this economy, this may be the play for you. This may be something that interests you, right? I like how they've already gutted out the mobile home, the trailer for us. This looks to be water damaged just a little bit. And I noticed the air fresheners here, so it could have some water. Those are like signs to me. Why are these air fresheners here, right? The window's open so it can smell better. Why? Is a moldy smell? Does it smell bad? Did it smell bad? Why did they gut it all out? You can see it looks like potential water damage. I'm not sure. I can't see too well here. Is it? I know there's not carpet in their bathroom. Wow. Another air freshener. This place must not smell the best. But for $33,000 and for about 4 acres of land. Interesting. Very interesting. You can't even buy 4 acres of land, maybe in Mississippi, but it's hard to find 4 acres, let's say 3.9 acres of land by itself without spending over $33,000. So keep that in mind. That's just very interesting to me. 3.9 acres of land. This is 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, financially free, debt free, if in the event that you pay cash to do the repairs. If you know how to do the repairs yourself, you in business because you don't have to pay anybody. Okay, let's look at Ohio. All right, so I said at least 1 acre of land. This is 2.49 acres of land, so that's a pretty good size lot. Parcel. This is in Akron, Ohio. Shout out to LeBron. Okay. This would need. Look at the leaves. Goodness gracious. Okay, so this is the driveway, I'm assuming, and this needs a total. Yeah. This could have been, is it fire damage? It could have been, I don't know. You would definitely look at the lead. Okay. I feel like this was fire damage. Let me see. Why is the, maybe not. This needs a lot of work, guys. This is, this is something that I may pass on if I were looking at it because it, well, maybe not. I mean, you just have to do your own due diligence. That's my personal opinion of what my threshold, you know. And let's look at this one. This is a mobile home or manufactured home, excuse me, as well. And this is good. This is why. This is 2,000 square feet, right? And you see these, I guess it's cinder block or, yeah, cement cinder block at the bottom, right? So this manufactured home is affixed to the property, to the land, meaning at some point, let's say you fix this home up, right? How many acres is this? A little over an acre of land. Great. Let's say you fix this property up. You're living in it now, right? You purchased it for $36,000. Well, and I will cut this tree down again. Yes. Well, because it's affixed to the land, you have an opportunity to refinance this manufactured home. You have an opportunity to refinance it. Basically pull the equity out because of its placement on the land, meaning it's attached. Anything that's attached to the land like this, that is considered real property. All right. And I've talked about this in my past videos, but that would be an experienced investor move. that is the end of my video, guys. I truly do appreciate you making it this far in the video. If you made it this far in the video, please in the comment section, just type foreclosure. It allows me to know you made it this far in the video, and I truly do appreciate it. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.